Yo, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a blessed day. Hope you're having a blessed week. Hope you've been reading your word, staying prayed up, staying fasted up, and just getting to know God more and more each and every day. Today, I want to talk about something that's been on my mind for the past week and a little bit of today. And before we get into that, I want to start off with Matthew chapter 24, verse 13. And it says, "But the one who stands firm to the end will be saved." And so basically, from the scripture, what I want to talk about is resiliency. See, our professor was in class. My bench the business professor, we were in class, and he was talking about business and giving us notes and all that. But since it's like the end of the semester, he does his thing. He does his thing every time at the end of the semester where he kind of gives like a mental health talk. And I mean, it's a mental health talk. We really thought, like, I thought it was just gonna be like some regular, like, chat, but end up being something that really you could take home with you. But the key word that he brought up was resilience. And I mean, how he talked about it was that, like, we realize in the society that we live in, America, it's a very diverse society. I mean, it has a lot going on with it. I mean, you could be rich, but you could also be really rich, and then you could be like poor in spirit. You can have all these things, but you could just still be alone. I mean, America has the highest rates of, like, a lot of things like self harm and like a lot of bad things that are happening in this world, and loneliness, and all these things are happening in the society. And not saying it's not happening in any other society, but it's at an all-time high here. And I realized that this has negatively impacted our society, and I see it. And just thinking about people my age, like, people my age are really struggling too. Like, there's some people, yeah, they're living a good life, and people are all set, and they've been dealt a great deck of cards. But some people haven't been dealt a great deck of cards. Some people really have been struggling, and maybe if they were dealt a great deck of cards, they probably went through something that made them kind of lose some of those cards. And anyway, I know it kind of sounds like I'm talking in metaphors here, but resiliency is key, especially as a Christian. See, talked about this world, and I brought a lot of the stuff the professor said because in reality, we're suffering. A lot of us are suffering, and not us as Christians, I mean, but people out here in this world. I mean, they're actually suffering. People are actually going through a lot of things, and people are actually really not going through a lot of things at the same time. People are overthinking. People are having huge, anxious thoughts that just throwing them off in their daily lives. People are being led by their emotions wherever they go, and it's really harming them. And so I brought up Matthew chapter 24, verse 13. "But the one who stands firm to the end will be saved." I brought up this scripture because as Christians, we're not exempt from any of this. I mean, we know who God is. We know where our faith is founded upon. We know, like, that we should be joyful. But we're not exempt from loneliness. And we're not exempt from feeling, things that make us sad. We're not exempt from that. If anything, we'll probably be more prone to feel them even more. But I encourage you and I urge you to be resilient for Christ. I'm 18 years old, and one thing I've learned from just living a little bit compared to a lot of people who have been on this earth for a while, one thing I learned is that life is going to suck. And I'm sorry, excuse my language, but life isn't always going to be the best. You're not always going to have everything go your way. To be fair with you, 99% of things are not going to go your way. You're going to go through times when you're suffering. You're going to be times when you're actually getting beat up, and stuff is not hidden. It's just honestly, like, it hurts. And sometimes you can't see the purpose of it. And especially my age, you have a lot of questions. You're young. You're like, why am I going through this? Why this? It's hard to be understanding in a moment like this. Like, you're young. You want to enjoy life. You see your friends enjoying life. You see everybody's enjoying, like, why am I going through this? But I'm telling you, be resilient. Everybody here on this earth, number one, goes through something. And we can all agree on that. Because not one person, you name somebody on this earth that has went through anything, goodness, that person may not be human. Be real with you. But we all go through some things. But you must trust in God. And yeah, I know you heard that lots of times. It's a lot of times you hear that statement, it's like, okay, I know exactly. I've been told to trust. I know to trust God. I know that stuff. But seriously, trust Him, because we get weary, and to be honest with you, we get tired. I get tired lots of times. A lot of people get tired every single time. I mean, this world we live in. We live in a world that's full of social media, and social media can be good at times, but it's also can be really bad. It doesn't also work in our favor as much as we think it should, and it doesn't always go the way we think it should go. Social media at the same time, like, we can see a lot of Christian stuff on there, and we can see a lot of stuff that we don't want to see, or sometimes we can find ourselves being on the couch for 3 hours plus, scrolling and eating chips, doing absolutely nothing with our lives. And so I tell you this because we have to live. It's a lot, because this video, I want to kind of explain to you, it's not just about resilience, but it's about getting up and dealing with this stuff. I mean, there is stuff that you go through that you seriously just had to deal with, because there's a lot of times we stress about things. And one thing our professor said that I really like is, like, we dramatize. I hope I use that word right. Dramatize what we go through. Like, oh, I'm just so stressed out, but you're really just busy. You just have a busy schedule. It's normal to have a busy schedule. And we go to all these different things. Like, a lot of people get so nervous. They take these drugs, these medications. They take all these different things. And I'm being serious. Like, I know it sounds like I'm just going on a rant, but what he said is actually for real, because we are actually, like, losing a sight of being human. I mean, we're not even living anymore, honestly. And I know I'm kind of getting off topic here, but we're not even living anymore. You think about kids our age, like, every person you run across, they're on their phone 24/7. Like, this, like, it's just their only life. I mean, you see people endlessly scroll on an app, and you see something that really, this cellular device or console or whatever it is, have, like, it's just arrived. Like, not even, it just arrived a couple decades ago, and yet it's taking this much of an impact. Like, we've shifted. People don't even know how to conversate anymore. We have kids who don't grow up on being outside and riding their bikes around the neighborhood, or playing with sticks outside in the country or something. We don't have that anymore. We have kids who grew up knowing how to make TikTok dances before they know how to count to 4. It's a lot of stuff. I'm saying this because it does tie back into somehow, because we have to bring back life, living. Like, actually bring back living. Like, we have grown a lot and we developed a lot, but truly ask ourselves, is the life that we live, is this really benefiting human society? I mean, it's me on my phone every single day, not necessarily be on my phone every day, but me just scrolling for endless hours benefiting anything? Am I developing anything? Like, we have so many people out here more on their phones, they don't know who they are. They know more about an app more than they know about themselves. It's sad. And there's times where, social media can be fun. It's funny. I like social media to be on sometimes. Like, it's cool, but there's boundaries to some things. Because either, whether you know it or not, you could be laughing on an app, but you also could be slowly losing yourself. I mean, I think about it. Most people base their personality on how many followers they have and how many other things. I'll say all these things. I'm gonna cut it off there, but I say all these things because this is why we are struggling a lot. I mean, we're basing our identities off of how many followers we have on Instagram. We're scared to be ourselves nowadays in society because maybe a trend that's going on somewhere, and it's affecting us badly and it's harming us badly. And so we talk about being resilient. We have to sometimes sacrifice some things that are causing us to lose our resiliency. I mean, it's about try, it's about push. But it says the one who stands firm to the end will be saved. You have to stand firm. Because at the end of the day, we can watch TikTok all day long, but TikTok, those people on TikTok, whatever things you're looking at, that is not going to live your life. There is a whole life in front of you. There are trees out there in front of you. I hope you don't ever forget how valuable your soul is. I hope you never forget that. Like, you're a human being, and you had you know how less of a percent chance you had of actually breathing and living. You had a very you had a very low percentage. It wasn't in your favor, but God chose to give you life. And I know sometimes you're like, but it's so dreadful. I'll just go through so much. It's how it's going to be. The world is far from perfect. You're going to go through things. But when you have God, you can go through things. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can go through those things, but you have something to overcome. You can walk through those. You could be taking over those things. And I say this, I put huge emphasis on it because we tend to give up too easily with anything. I mean, we just settle for everything. We've been comfortable with just the lives that we somehow been given. We get comfortable with them. We don't want to do anything. I mean, how many people do you know even chase after their purpose in life? And not necessarily chase, but chase after the purpose that God has given them. I mean, by chasing God. How many people you actually know who do that? It's rare because people don't know what they're good at anymore. I mean, you can find people who love playing the instrument. Let people know. You find very, very few of those people. I mean, most of the people you know are just social media warriors. And it's true. It's true. You find more social media warriors. You find people who actually like to do something other than play social media. Other than get on social media. But it's the fact of going out and doing something. Whether you're going on a walk, whether you're learning to play a new instrument, go out and find something about yourself. I mean, you're living this life. I mean, I say this because I'm 18 years old. I'm about to turn 19 in a month, but I don't want to live my life, especially the life that God gave me, and just sit here and just do absolutely nothing with it. I mean, He gives me talents and gifts, and even this, I see this as a talent and a gift. Just the ability to be able to talk, on a platform. I see this as a talent and gift. He gives you these things, man. He gives you these things, and he wants you to do something with it. I know it's like a quote by Denzel Washington, and I know this. Right, this is far from resilience. This is far from even talking about it right now. I just want to talk about this. It's actually serious things, but it's a quote by Denzel Washington that he quoted Les Brown in this graduation speech that he made, and he says, "Imagine you're on your deathbed, and all around you are the ghosts of all your talents, all the things that you were good at or you're supposed to be good at. And they said, we came to you that through you we may live. But now, since you didn't use us, we have to go to the grave together." I mean, it hurts. And it's a really strong thing to hear because God gave you these gifts that they may live through you. I mean, think about the impact. Think about the writers in the Bible. I mean, these people are long gone. They're long gone. These are special people that God has used, and they're long gone. But their words stick. We still read the words. We still can go to Proverbs, even though it was written by Solomon, who died a long time ago. We still can read the words of Paul, even though Paul died a long time ago. But we have these words to write on because they let God use them, and therefore these words lived. Therefore the works they did lived. So do something that lives. Don't just die and take everything with you. That's selfish, in my opinion. You have talents and gifts, and you're so selfish that you will just let them die with you. Come on, man. Seek to live the life that God has given you. God has given you a life to enjoy. He's actually giving you something to enjoy, like to enjoy life, to enjoy breathing, to go outside and meet new people, something. Like, we always look at these movie characters and be like, all these movie characters, look at they're just the main character, is so cool, but like, what do you think you are? Like, do you think you're just a side character in your own life? And I was saying, well, I was telling you, God is the main character, but do you think like you just don't have anything special about you? Like, you know why people look up to so many movie characters? Because there's something special about that movie character. And to be honest, half the movie characters start off as a regular human being, but since they're in a movie and they're televised and they're being followed with cameras, The actors are. They think, oh, they're so special. But you are special. You don't have to be a movie character to be special. You don't have to be a millionaire to be special. You're special right now. You're trying to wait till I be successful, or wait till I get this, wait till I get that. And that goes along with any topics. And that's a little side thing, but you don't have to get a girlfriend to be yourself or do whatever you want to do. You don't have to, or you don't have to get a boyfriend to get what you want to get. Like, you are you for a reason. God created you. There's only one of you. It's simple. You know this stuff. It's simple. But you can know all this stuff. You can know that you are you all the time. You can know be yourself all the time. But if you don't apply this, I mean, it means nothing. It seriously means nothing. You must be willing to see the life that God has given you. Like, God, I want to live. You gave me this life. I'm grateful for this life. Let me live it to your ability. Let me live it to your best potential. Let me make sure your will is done, oh God. Let me follow your will. Let me see where you take me. A lot of you would have problems. A lot of you have problems already solved that you just submit to God's will for your life. A lot of people will actually see the beauty of life if you submit to the will that God has for you. And you will stop chasing things that don't matter, because you're chasing things that don't, like, I'll be honest with you, like, a lot of people are drinking just because they want to fill a void. And say, well, I do it for fun. A lot of people are doing it to fill a void. A lot of people are smoking so they can't feel any pain at all. But I'm here to tell you, like, realistically, like, I'm not going to sit here and just justify what you're doing. I'm going to be real with you. It's going to come back. The pain and stuff that you feel, it's going to come back. It's not going anywhere. And you're not handling it any better by destroying yourself. I mean, yeah, I know it sounds harsh, but you're not doing anything better to help yourself when you're doing that. But you must submit to God, because those things don't fill your peace. They don't feel anything. It's like I say it all the time, it's like putting the square peg to the round hole, not getting anything out of it, as not giving you anything back. Instead, seek after Christ. Christ fulfills. Christ gives reason. He gives you purpose. He allows you to see the beauty in this world. You're not just living day by day, just trying to survive and just trying to wait till you end up in a graveyard. Live. You want to live. Deep down inside, you want to live. Quit dreading life so much. Life's going to be hard, but there's also good things about life too that are worth going through the hard moments. So go through those moments. Deal with those moments. Be resilient. Push through the hard times. It's going to be bad. It's going to be, honestly, it's going to beat you down, and it's going to feel bad at times, but it's also going to be good too. They tell you about the bad, but it's going to be good. There's never a person who went through their life when it was just straight up bad. They had some good moments. They smiled at least. They laughed at a joke. They told a joke. They had fun 1 or 2 times at least. Those moments they can happen. But you have to be willing to trust in God. You have to be willing to seek God, and then you will find the beauty of life. So I encourage you this. Be resilient. Don't let circumstance take away the beauty of life from you, but fight through it. See where God will take you and follow His will for the rest of your life. So I encourage you to follow His will, follow His guide, and be resilient. This life has been given to you by God. He fights all your battles, and He'll win all your battles. But you must live in victory and live in the freedom that God has given you. May God bless you. May God keep you. Peace.